I think you're going to like. It's our crown dental molding like the one we have up there now, only it's got a built-in opening with screening over it to provide soffit venting. So all you have to do then is cut a hole and apply the molding. Now this in particular is a high-density polyurethane, so it actually is going to last longer than wood. It cuts and nails just like wood, and it's going to last longer because it's got a UV protection already on it, and it's pre-primed, so you don't have to do that. So there's a lot of neat features about this, and I want to show you how to install it. But first, I have to give you your checklist for this project. You'll need a 4-foot level, a hammer, a tape measure, nails and a nail set, a jigsaw or reciprocating saw, a drill and bits, a crowbar or pry bar, a stud finder, and a hole saw. Now I've already removed a section of my molding so that I can kind of show you what's going on. One thing to remember is when you're taking any existing molding down, use a pry bar, but be careful not to damage your siding. Now, kind of gotten ahead of you here, but this is really the type of hole that I'm talking about. And a couple of things you want to look out for before you start cutting into the soffit. First of all, you may have a piece like this, which is a nailer for the board under the soffit. You also may have wood going this way at intervals, which are called lookouts. And you have your roof rafters going up at an angle. So when you mark for your holes, make sure you do it between the rafters and lookouts and outside of any nailing strips. You can either get into the attic and drill a hole from there at the center point between the rafters and use that as a reference, or use a stud finder out here and find the same things. Now, here you can see I've gotten started a little bit, but before you start drilling again, make sure that you know how far out from the side of the house you can come so that your molding will still cover up the hole. So that's pretty easy. I know I've got about a 4-inch room for clearance, and I'll be well within that, so I'm in good shape. Now I use a hole saw or a paddle bit to drill holes to start out with. Now I've got a couple in here already, but I'm going to go ahead and put 1 or 2 more in. Now it's just plywood, so it's really not too terribly hard to get through, but you get the picture. Just drill those around to help you get going with your saw. Now as far as your placement on your soffit vents, you want to really judge the number of vents and the size of the vents by the space in the attic. And generally, it's going to be about 1 square foot of opening for every 300 cubic feet of airspace in the attic. Now that, again, is just kind of a something to go by, and some builders actually just put them every 5 to 8 feet or so. Now after you've done your measuring and you know where you need to go, you got your holes drilled, all you have to do is cut it out, and you can use a reciprocating saw or a jigsaw. Looks pretty good. Don't forget your safety glasses. Now all we have to do is finish cutting the holes, then we can put up the molding. Now for the fun part, actually putting the molding up. That's pretty simple to do. Just set it in place and line it up. It's like putting in regular crown molding, and it'll hammer just like regular wood. You can put nails or screws in it, which it's pretty easy, and as you can see, it's also lightweight, so when you're lifting it into place, you won't have any problems. So start nailing. And make sure to set the nails with a nail set, and you can also use wood putty or caulk to cover those heads. And also, once you're finished, make sure you put a nice bead of caulk at the top and the bottom to seal it just right. And of course, after that, you want to paint it, and it's pre-primed, so that's easy. And really, you can use whatever paint you saw fit. You get it? Saw fit?